So family, Matano Masaka. So now we would like to present your message because now we are at the same page on what happened today in Africa. Now, I believe we're ready to share with you the word of Simao Toko, Mayamona, in to salute, to meditate on today's event. So these are the words of Simao Toko. We repeat, to salute this day, for us to meditate, to reflect about this day. So today is a day of reflection. And the focus will be the children. So, Sister Rafea, would like to ask you to go with me, please, as I present the document. May you please read so we can meditate this message. So, message from Toko. You know, June 16, message from Toko in salute of the Day of the African Child. So we already say that today is the day in which we celebrate African Child that was established in 1991 by the African Union. So this is the message that Simao Toko spoke today about the African children. And, you know, our African children across the world. When I say African children, I don't focus, I'm not just saying here in the land, no. In the globe, around everywhere, because we are all over the world. AMO, you know, AMO extended, and we are all over the world. All right. So, Rafael, you can start from this point, please. Sister Rafael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
Beloved, today is June 16th, the Day of the African Child. This Child's Day is often not remembered. This African child misses bread. He misses breakfast. He often misses dinner. He misses school. He misses almost everything.
Everything. He misses everything. In Tatanzambi, he sees that. Tatanzambi sees that. Okay, go ahead, sister.
African child who always suffers, always run by suffering and violations, and their fate is left to the last thought.
So African children, they are the black sheep, you know, of the population of the world. So even the African government, when they come to make plans, you know, when they come to plan the budget and stuff, they don't care about the African children. You know, they don't care about that. Yes.
African Children's Day is a day that older Africans should be thinking about.
So us, we must be meditating about it. You know, we must be the elders, you know, the old people, we must be thinking about it, not let it go like this. No, this is a day we must sit our children down and talk to them like a friend and awaken their mind. Yes.
Not only putting children out there, but they should be meditating on their attitudes towards children that they have had in this journey, on what they have developed, whether they have favored children or whether they have simply sought to satisfy their interest, desires, passions, their pleasures, stealing everything and take it abroad and stay abroad, die there and be buried in Africa.
Okay. It's mentioned about especially the politician. The African politician, they don't care. They don't care. They don't think it all about the children. That's why you see the things in the land, same thing. As well that side, you know, as well, even in the USA. The struggle, you know, you went through as a child, your children is going through the same struggle, which means there's something wrong, we must adjust. There's something wrong, we must adjust. So, but speaking about the African politicians, you know, what Toko says that they only care about their carnal desires. You know, Solomon says, this is in the Bible, says, woe to the nation where the slaves becomes a king. In other words, what he says, a person with slave mentality will only think about food, will only think about living the same life as his master lived. You know, in Portugal, when Simão Toko was held as a slave in Portugal, they say, Simão Toko, you will no longer go back to Africa, you will die here. Or else you must accept our offer. We will give you white women, we will give you Portuguese citizenship, and you will stay here. You will have a children and you will stay here. You will stay here. No more going back. You say, you know what? Take your offer. I declined, and I tell you, I will go back to my land. I will die there, and I will be buried there.
Hi.
And it mentioned Jeremiah. Have you seen a leopard changing his skin? Have you ever seen a Ethiopian changing his skin? No, it never happened. And he said to them, mark my word, the day you see a black man and a white man come here in Azor is looking for me, I will be free. And it came to pass. So he declined all those pleasure. And that pleasure that was declined by Toko is the same pleasure the African leaders they are after. So they just care about those pleasure, those passion. They steal everything, they take it abroad. They live there in abroad, you know, in Europe as a prince. And when they die there, all their money stayed there and their body returns to Africa. So they are transforming Africa as a graveyard, that's all. You know, but Toko says that this attitude has to be reversed. I'm here, Sister Rafea. You can continue, please.
This attitude has to be reversed. Only an attitude can be reversed with courage, faith, and determination. Without faith, people cannot seek that which is difficult to be achieved. It is with faith that tomorrow Africa will be able to have children who eat 3 times a day, 3 times a day, and have a snack.
We don't have that. We don't have that. We don't have that. You know, when I was a child, I was diagnosed by TB because of malnutrition. There was no food in the house, and I decided to eat, you know, those corn they feed chicken, those hard corn, really hard one, the hard one. I was like, let me eat this stuff. It was bad, you know, and I was eating that thing, and that thing is hard. When you eat, that can damage your chest because that is for chicken, not for you know, not for us, not to eat as a meal. I just say, you know what, I'm starving. I eat that, and I got very sick. I was coughing instantly, and all the corn was coming out, and I got sick. You know, and you also have your story. So I'm just sharing, you know, our experience, and I believe you also have yours. Maybe you want to share, who knows? But we are sharing the reality. And the reason why Toko says that we must fight so that in the land, the African child may have 3 meals a day and have snacks, snacks.
Mm-hmm.
In general, a black child doesn't have that. You are there in the USA. Who want to say some experience from there? Maybe some have. Well, I told you about Africa, right? Anybody want to say something about there? I know it's the same thing, but who knows? You have something to share.
I mean, they're still killing us in the street, our children, every day. And I always say, like we all, especially the daughters of Zion that I do know that's, in the word. And I tell them we have to pray, this they're still doing. And I think that maybe they went too far because they have to pay for what they did to the lost tribes of Israel. So.
Yes, Mama Rafael.
And
Okay, Elmakail.
and also the educational, improper education of our children. Our schools are old, dilapidated. Some of them don't have heat. Some of them don't have air. Well, a lot of them don't have air conditions. And the money that they so-called supposed to collect, they always tell you, "Oh, we going to use the lottery money. Oh, we're going to use the casino money for the schools." But you never see any of the results pan out for education for our children, and they suffer. So you're graduating kids, and they leave in the 12th grade. Still, some of them probably with a 5th grade education. So who suffers? The children do.
Wow. Oh yeah, man.
Whereas though, and some of, back home, a lot of the parents stress education, getting an education. But here, some of that is not stressed as much. It is, but with a lot of people, it's not.
Wow.
But you also got to understand what you are learning, what they're teaching you. They're not teaching you anything that pertains to you in your culture. You just learning to regurgitate what they put in you, and that is nothing. Then with the universities, they teach those in the college realm to think like them, to educate you. So when you come out and you finish, if you haven't been rooted and grounded in knowing who you are, then your mindset will turn on your own people, and you start thinking the way of the European, which that was designed, because that way they give you their education, they higher education, so you won't turn on them, and that you won't come back to educate those in your community. Because what happens, most of higher education, most people don't come back to the hood. They move out of the cities, a lot of them. So pretty much the design, it was a tape going around. It was a very old tape where it showed how they said to give them the education so we as melanated people, Bantu, can think like them, so we won't be a threat to them. That's why you have the Boule, these secret black societies that's doing the bidding of these European elites to try to keep us in line.
That is why The next point, Elder Makailu just spoke that, but here is the conclusion of Toko, Sister Rafea.
That's why we players sing.
Okay, sorry. We translate from Portuguese to English, so that was a mistake. So, but what it says that is why we, the Tokoist, we sing. Toko said that, not me. We just wrote his message, we translate it to English, so we share it. He said that, because of all this stuff you just mentioned and stuff, he said that is why we, the Tokoist, we sing. I'm gonna help you, Sarah Fair, or you wanna go read Kikongo?
You could go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, try it. You can go try it. I'm gonna help you.
Masinga, what two? Sia.
Yes.
E Yave.
Yahweh.
Yave.
Okay, read again. Musinga.
Masinga, wetu, sia, e yeve, mu kikole, tu, wutu kila, mu kikole, twa, sazu kila, kamu kikole, tu, wenda,
Tukwenda. Yeah.
tukwenda, fule,
Fuile.
fuile.
Yes. You made it. You see, it's possible. You did it. This is the mindset Toko wants. You see, we can. And you did it. So Toko said, that is why we the Tokoist, we sing. Musinga watu sia eyave.
Hi.
Mukikole. Tuutukila. The meaning is that this song was sang, by the elders, by the elders back then, when the Tokoists were being persecuted by the Portuguese oppression, the Belgium and stuff. The elders used to sing this. Sometimes there was no word to pray. They sit down, there's no word to pray. They just look to heaven and they sing that song. And the meaning, Sister Rafea, is that
We were born into slavery. We grew up on ropes.
rope is like chains, tied. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, ropes. Does it make sense, right? Ropes. Tied. Yes.
Are we also going to die like this? Mbuta Lazarus?
That song was composed by Mbuta Lazarus. That was the author of the song. We are speaking about 50 years ago, 50 to 60 years ago. Angola was still, Africa was still in oppression. He composed that song because of what the elders were facing in the past. They would look to heaven. They would say, hey, Yahweh. Musinga watu sia, hey, Yahweh. Hey, Yahweh, which means, oh, Tatanzambi, oh, Almighty God. We were born into slavery. Oh, hey, Yahweh. Yahweh is Lord. Hey, Yahweh. No, Jehovah. What they say, Yahweh. We were born into slavery. Oh, Jehovah. We grew up on ropes, chain. Are we also going to die like this? That is the meaning of the song. Yes, Sir Fair.
And that's true. Our children suffer.
So the reference is, the message was, we, the elders of today, we grew up suffering, struggling, and our children now, they are also suffering just the way we suffered. That's why he said, that is true. Our children, they still suffer. The same thing we went through. Yes.
If you go down the street, you'll find children walking around aimlessly. Some because their parents abandoned them, some because their parents died and they were left in the care of their aunt, and the aunt accused them of being a witch to throw them out of the house. The aunt never accuses her own son or daughter, but only accuses the husband's son or nephew.
This is a very common. Now, Toko was speaking about, especially about land, because, I don't know in the USA, but, this is a very common case in Africa, in the land. We still have this mindset. Instead of us taking care of all children as our own fellow brothers, as our own children, we forgot the ways of our forefathers. We forgot the ancient path. In a Bantu child, your mother is my mother. Your child is my child. This is our culture. I don't say your children is my, niece or something like that. No, your children is my children. Your mother, your father, they are my parent as well. Your brother is my brother. By the way, the word cousin in a Bantu language doesn't exist. Doesn't exist because we consider ourselves as brothers, only brothers. That's all. But now, because of this colonized mindset, we divide even. We separate. Oh, you're not my children. Go there. And we take care nicely of our own children, and we despise those who are orphaned, our family. If there's something that Tanzania hate, is when we mistreat an orphan kid. Hey, Tanzania hate that. Tanzania hate that so bad. And what happened? Don't get me wrong. Men, they also have a lot of negative behavior, but Toko is focusing on the women. I'm sorry, my mothers and sisters. But in the land, sometimes our sisters, they misbehave so bad toward the children. They like to accuse the children as a witch. Just go on YouTube, you will see a lot of moves on that. So they accuse the orphan as a witch, and they protect their own children.
Mhm.
They hate the husband family, nephew. They hate that. Only her family is welcome in her house, not the husband's family. Elder Kennedy is there. He is a witness. He's in Kenya. Maybe that's also very common in Kenya. Naibu is from Burundi. That is very common there. And in the USA as well, or in Europe, maybe, but you will speak your own experience. Yes, Sister Rufe?
Always in families and homes, the husband's family always has a bad time. The husband's niece is always the witch, the one who eats a lot, the one who is running the house.
Ruining
The house. Thank you. Everything always falls on this child, the husband's niece or nephew. This child is the one who always suffers accusations. If the husband says anything about his wife's niece, there will be a fight at home. But when the husband's family at home is accused, it is glory for the woman.
So the women, she become happy. She become happy. That is the mindset of your sisters from here in the land. That's why we say, especially to those coming to entire trip, you must come with the mindset to educate people in the land, because some of our sisters here, or some of our brothers here, they're still sick. They need healing. You know, they need healing. And maybe you can help us as well. And we believe you can, because this thing is very common family in the land right now. Yes, Mama Rafael.
This cannot be like this. A Christian woman cannot do that. Her sister died.
Wait a minute. Most of them, they are Christian. That's why Toko say also that. You know, because of course, if you go to church, if you search about Christianity, it's all about love, right? But love is only in the church. But in the house, they are master. Many, not all, but many, they are master. Many are master. But the problem is that in the church, they don't speak about that oftenly. It's all about, you know, hey, that is not the focus. Even right now, today, if you go to many churches, nobody will be speaking about the African children. No. For them, that is, you know, they separate. The history from Africa is nothing to do with, you know, we sharing the word. If we're in the church, let's put the history of Africa somewhere. And let's speak about, you know, yes, Jesus healing the sick man, something like that. But not for us, the Tokoist. Not for us. Not for us. When we are celebrating something, for example, that side you are celebrating Juneteenth, right, in the USA. You know, let's say, you know, the Tokoist church is big. A day like today, we will be speaking about this thing in the church and meditating on what happened. And nobody can mistake in us as to say that is a hate speech or something like that. No, we will be meditating on our history, how or why, so that we can educate our children and bring them back to the ancient path. We must remind them on what we went through, what happened in the history, so that they can remember who they are. That is the vision of Simao Toko. You see, that's why he says, the Tokoist assembly is not like any other. No, the Tokoist church is not like any other. No, no, no. We refuse to follow, you know, the same path the majority of the churches they are following. No, we don't follow that. If they go left, we'll go right. If they go right, we'll go left. We don't follow it the same way. The Bible is one, but our ways is unique. It's not Nzambe leaders. Yes.
Her sister died, or her husband's brother died. The husband takes the nephew and puts him at home. And the woman starts making separations and accusations that the nephew eats a lot, steals money, etc. The woman accuses her husband's nephew, who is at home. We have to reverse this. Mama, when your husband...
Sorry, he's now addressing to the women. You know, mama, which means mothers. Mama, mothers. Now he's addressing to the women. So, Sister Rafael, by you reading this, you are addressing yourself to the women's, your sisters, right? Tell them this. Tell them.
When your husband's family is at your house, treat them as equals. If your husband's nephew has done something wrong, correct him as you have corrected your son. And if your son has committed it, correct him in the same way as you corrected your husband's nephew. Let's turn this picture around. churches serve to change things,
You
to
see,
transform.
yeah, that's why Toko sometimes they get mad at churches. So now he's revealing the purpose of churches. By the way, Simon Toko is not against church. For anybody who hates church, that's another discussion, but he's not. But this is his vision about churches. Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah, serve to change things, to transform people's minds so that bad people become good and create peace, harmony, and healthy growth of children so that they can be good adults tomorrow.
Mhm. This is his vision. This is his vision. So, family, this was the message from Simon Toko as reflection on today's event, June 16, 1974. So, my mothers, my sisters, if this message speak about you or speak about somebody you know, please address it. Do not be quiet and don't believe them to say that this child is too much. I don't like this child. Today, the souls of those children who were killed in apartheid time, they are crying, as we read in the Revelation. They are crying for revenge. They are crying for justice. They can see what is happening in the world, but we cannot see them. And when they see children just like them being mistreated, being accused as a witch, when they see children being molested, when they see children suffering, from domestic abuse, when they see children crying because their parents are being arrested in their presence, that is very common in the USA. When they see children, the parents are fighting in their face, punching and stuff, because of ignorance, they don't even care about the child. So when all those children see that, they cry out, as we just read in Revelation, how long? How long? This is what Revelation spoke. Revelation 9, 7, 9. How long? This is what happened. How long? They cry, how long? How long? How long? So family, whether you're in Europe, USA, Caribbean, Africa, or everywhere, please, especially to those Black brothers and sisters, let's protect our children. Today we are commemorating our history. We are reflecting about our history. Let's protect our children from any kind of abuse. Let's protect them. Don't be quiet. Don't just look and we don't care, like it is not my child. No, 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 no. Remember who you are. In a Bantu culture, your child, even an unknown child to me, is my child. This is our culture. And let us stop mistreating the children that belongs to the husband's side, to the man's side. Women, if you know somebody who will behave like that, please speak. Speak up. Speak up. So, Ayat Samba, I don't know if you're there. I think we spoke a lot, but that was our reflection for today, dear family.